When you see the name Anna Beatriz, chances are you just remember her name when I said the name and saw the title and thumbnail after forgetting about her for a decade, or somehow, if you're like me, you still remember her. Either way, in this episode, we are going to be talking about Anna Beatriz's racing career and other things. With that being said, let's begin. Anna Beatriz Castellado Gomez de Figueiredo, well, to make it easier, we'll just call her Anna Beatriz because I just butchered the last name, was born on March 18th, 1985 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Bia, which was a nickname for Anna, caught the racing bug at the age of 3 alongside with other sports. The very young tomboy Brazilian girl saw a go-kart at the age of 5, but while begging for her father to let her drive a go-kart, she would have to wait to be 8 years old to be old enough to finally drive a go-kart. When she was originally started driving go-karts as a kid, it was just a fun thing, typical kid stuff, a typical child having fun. But at the same time, Anna had dreams of being a professional race car driver one day, just like her heroes Ayrton Senna and Emerson Fittipaldi, but she had no idea how difficult it would be to handle a machinery with such speed. Thankfully, as time went by, Anna learned to appreciate the sport of auto racing and other racers a whole new level, which further fueled her passion of racing. At the age of 12, Anna Beatriz had a racing coach named Naylor Campos. Campos coached famous Brazilian drivers such as Tony Kanaan, Rubens Barrichello, and I made a Racing Stories episode on Rubens Barrichello's IndyCar career. Feel free to check that out, link in the description below. Enrique Bernoldi and Andrew Ribeiro, not only he was the coach of Anna, but he would also become her chief mechanic and even helped her out with sponsorships thanks to former driver Sandy Negrao, who owned Medley, which was a pharmacy company. When her family ran out of money at the age of 15, Anna Beatriz would continue to do karting until 2003 when she would win the Sorriso Petrobras Kart Cup Championship. After her kart career, Anna Beatriz would make the move to Formula Renault, racing for the Cesario team, where she would earn 3 podiums, finished 11th in points, and winning Rookie of the Year in 2003. The experienced Anna Beatriz would compete in not only Formula Renault, but would also run in the Sudan Formula 3 series in 2004, which would help her gain some more experience. It was as much better year for her since she finished 5th in points for her Formula Renault and was runner-up in the Sudan Formula 3 light class. 2005 was a breakout season for Anna Beatriz. In 14 races, she would have 3 wins, 7 podiums, 4 poles, and a 3rd place points finish. In 2006, Anna Beatriz would race full-time in the Formula 3 Sudan series, finishing 5th in points after scoring 5 podiums and a pole. She even did the Stock Car Brazil Lights series. Unfortunately, Anna did not do any racing in 2007, but she was still behind the wheel on an open-wheel car. She was in the A1 GP car in Shanghai, testing for the Brazilian team. However, after a year of not racing, she would finally go racing. Anna Beatriz would race in the Firestone Indy Lights series in the number 20, racing for Samsung Motorsports and a sponsorship from Healthy Choice for the 2008 season. Anna Beatriz started off her season strong with a 7th place finish at Homestead and a podium in 3rd place at the first St. Petersburg race. But on the 2nd race, Anna Beatriz was the leader of the race, but 33 laps into the race, Richard Antonucci, whose teammates with Anna, would make a move in turn 1, attempting to make a pass for the lead and win, but then Antonucci would go down on Anna Beatriz deep into the curves with no room and spin her out for the lead, obviously not intentional. Her chances of winning her first race early in the season was gone, but then while getting back on track, Anna would dangerously be in the way of oncoming traffic and would get hit by the number 43 of Pablo Donoso. Anna Beatriz would DNF at 16th after completing 32 laps. She would have a mediocre 14th place finish at Kansas with the fastest lap of the race, but in her first trip to Indy, Anna Beatriz would have a much-needed 5th place finish in the Freedom 100. In Milwaukee, Anna Beatriz would crash out in turn 4 on lap 2, but would thankfully continue the race. But she would finish in 19th, 22 laps down. It was not all doom and gloom for Bia, because for the next 4 races, she would have an amazing stretch of top 5 finishes, a 3rd in Iowa, 2 top 5s in the Watkins Glen doubleheader, with a 4th place finish in race 1 and the 3rd place finish in race 2. Luckily for Anna Beatriz, she wouldn't have to wait much longer to find victory lane.
She knows she has a 1.2 second advantage on Bobby Wilson, so all she has to do is keep it between the walls, as they say. and bring it home. Here is Anna Beatriz coming off turn 4 and winning and becoming the first female in history to win in the Firestone Indy Lights Series. How about that? Is she happy?
Yeah, and deserving. I think that's great for her. It's great for the Indy Lights Series, and she's the real deal going forward. No two ways about it.
Well, here she sits, Anna Beatriz. She is unhooked, and she's got the helmet off, and she is out of the car on the nose, celebrating here in Victory Lane at Nashville Super Speedway. That unique hand-painted Gibson guitar being thrust over her head. This is a moment that Anna Beatriz has been waiting for. Anna, climb down from there for a second. Let's talk to you. Talk about kindness being returned. Yesterday afternoon, you talked to your teammate, James Davison. You gave him a little bit of advice, and he winds up on pole. Today, you pass him for the lead, 32 laps into this race. What's it like to win for the first time?
It's just amazing. I can't be more thankful for a healthy choice, Sam Schmidt, and of course my manager, André Ribeiro, Augusto Cesario. And other people just made it happen, you know, like it's the happy days of my life. Thank you for my family. Because thank you very much.
Anna, you've been close before in the Firestone Indy Lights Series to coming to Victory Lane, but what's it like to finally get here?
Yeah, it's just amazing. Thanks, Harry.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
As Ari Lyondike Jr. comes in and offers a word of congratulations, and it was interesting to note, Anna, the first person here to congratulate you was James Davison.
Yeah, when I saw that he crashed, it was so bad because I knew he had a good car and he could do like double, like first, second for sure. And I just feel pretty bad for him because he couldn't get a podium. He deserved it, really. He's working hard. But, you know, it happens. He's going to learn about something about this today. And, you know, just celebrate a lot.
Congratulations to Anna Beatriz, the first lady to win in Firestone Indy Lights Series competition.
On a hot, sunny Nashville day, well, despite a 12-hour rain delay, in Lebanon, Nashville at Nashville Super Speedway, Anna Beatriz became the first female to win in the Indy Lights Series after starting in second next to James Davison and leading 45 laps. Despite a terrible 19th place starting position on the first Mid-Ohio race, she would end up finishing 14th. Not a lot happened for her, and it wasn't just the best race. She would have a much better second Mid-Ohio race with a 5th place finish as a redemption from the first Mid-Ohio race. A decent weekend overall. On her final 4 races, she would have a 16th place finish at Kentucky after J.R. Hildebrand moved down on Anna Beatriz on the trial and ended up spinning on the infield. Luckily, both drivers kept it going to finish the race. Anna would end her final 3 races good with a 6th place finish in the first Sonoma race, a 3rd in the second Sonoma race, and a 2nd place finish at Chicagoland while Ari Lyondike Jr. got his first and only Indy Lights win. And speaking of Ari Lyondike Jr., I made the previous episode of Racing Stories on Ari Lyondike Jr. Feel free to check out that previous episode on Ari Lyondike Jr. Links in the description below. In her rookie season, Anna Beatriz scored 1 win, 6 podiums, and an average finish of 7.6 with a 3rd place points finish. Honestly, Anna Beatriz had a good rookie year in the series. She could have been a championship contender against Rafa Matos and teammate Richard Antonucci if it wasn't for some crashes and not so good results. Either way, at the end of the day, she got herself Rookie of the Year for 2008. Now, it was on to 2009. 2009 would be a much different year compared to her rookie year. She started her 2009 season off with a 4th place finish in the first St. Petersburg race, but on the second St. Petersburg race, during the restart of lap 27, J.R. Hildebrand and Anna Beatriz would once again get together for the second time in turn 1 after Anna came in too hard on Hildebrand, being on top of her, and would finish in 23rd after completing 26 laps. For the next 3 races, she would have 2 top 5s at Long Beach with a 5th place finish and a 4th place finish at Kansas. But on lap 17 of the 2009 Freedom 100, while running a 6th place, going for the top 5 during a 6-car battle for the lead, Anna Beatriz would be involved in a big crash with Gustavo Yakiman.
I think Anna's too heavy on downforce.
Boy, the 26 and the 11, it looked like they touched so briefly there, and he's going to bounce off the car and go to the lead.
They're 2 wide, 3 back as well. Gustavo Yakiman touches Anna and teammates. And in a big crash.
Anna Beatriz.
Oh, we hope she's okay. That was a tough hit. Anytime you have a frontal impact like that, that is a really hard hit.
Looks like the car held up very well, though, at the front as Beatriz, who was that, Kimball? Was that Beatriz?
No, that was Yakiman and
Gustavo Yakiman. They made
teammates for Sam Schmidt Motorsports, both running in the front. Huge contact here.
She's okay, man.
Boy, so
Look at the chassis. It is damaged. The tub has been damaged. That is a big hit.
the good news is the forward area of the bulkhead, you see the vent suspension just behind the Delphi safety
She
pin.
is awake.
Yeah, you can see that there is no damage beyond like a few inches into the nose. That was a huge hit and great potential there for a head-on 90-degree.
Right.
It just nose into the wall. And
That just sends chills, you know. As a driver, that you don't ever want to see that. That was a huge hit.
I don't think she saw Gustavo.
You think that's what it was, Rafa?
Well,
He's just in the blind spot.
I think she gave him enough room. Gustavo seemed like he had a few feet. He could have just gone a little bit higher, but I think he'd get a little nervous about getting high up into one, so he turned down a little bit.
While battling 5th place against Gustavo Yakimin, Anna Beatriz would go high on Gustavo. Beatriz would make contact with the 44 and would spin to the infield on the south short chute, crashing to the inside wall hard. Anna Beatriz would be carried on stretchers. Anna Beatriz would be treated with a cut shin and had injuries on her left elbow and right knee. Anna would miss out on the Milwaukee race, but she would make a return to Iowa. On the closing laps of the race, Anna Beatriz would have vengeance.
Back at the Iowa 100, a challenge for the lead. Anna Beatriz, after missing the race at Milwaukee, Ari Lyondike Jr., now right on the rear wing of Wade Cunningham heading into one.
Traffic is what came about in this situation. She definitely closed the gap. And now you see Saavedra ahead, also a lap car. Let's see if this affects Wade.
As he runs in front of Cunningham, made the pass
She's
earlier.
making the move. Here she goes.
Here she comes on the outside, Anna Beatriz, and she will take over the lead, heading to 3 as we work lap 107.
Oh, she's got to stay flat here to get it done. She's got to hold him to the bottom. She's got to do that.
Anna Beatriz across the line is shown the leader with 107 complete.
Oh, they're coming up on traffic
And
here.
they're side by side again. Kevin Lee, we're watching a great battle here as lap traffic will probably be the key.
And before Beatriz tried to make this pass, Wade Cunningham was on the radio complaining about Saavedra in the 27. That team thought that he was intentionally going slow to try to hold him up.
We're talking about teammates here racing each other, Sam Schmidt Motorsports teammates as Anna Beatriz. And here now, the 11 car trying to get underneath Martin Plowman. And more lap traffic as Roman Cini is going to try to go to the inside.
Oh, and he nearly hit Hinchcliffe. He got so much aero push there trying to go 3 wide.
112 laps now being shown complete for Anna Beatriz. Likeable young lady from Brazil who... But everybody on pit lane likes Anna Beatriz. Everyone thinks she's got a great future in IndyCar racing. And here she comes back across the line. 113 laps are complete. The margin just under 0.4 of a second between Beatriz, Cunningham, Hinchcliffe, and Roman Cini. We've seen a great battle here tonight, Ari.
It's all coming down to this lap car.
Wade's not giving up, that's for sure.
No, it's not. He's not giving up, and there's 1 lap car ahead. They'll probably reach that car before the finish of the race.
White flag is out. Anna Beatriz in the healthy choice machine trying to outrace it.
Yellow.
We've got a caution. The yellow flag is out as the yellow...
Got a car upside down. Oh, she just nearly misses him.
My goodness. And that is that Martin Plowman?
It's Pippa Mann.
No, that is Pippa Mann. So Pippa Mann is crawling out of the car. The checkers will fly along with the yellow flag as Anna Beatriz will win this race in incredible fashion as we've got a car upside down. Pippa Mann crawling out of the car. The rest of the field slows.
After being part of an exciting battle for the win between Wade Cunningham and James Hinchcliffe, fighting against lap traffic and for the lead, Anna Beatriz would get her second career Indy Lights win at Iowa. The 2009 Iowa race would be her final win in Indy Lights. For the rest of the season after Iowa, it would be a mixed bag. A 9th place at Watkins Glen, a 13th place at Toronto, she would make contact with James Davison at Edmonton but would end up finishing 12th. A 3rd at Kentucky, 12th at Middle Howe, and another top 5 finish at Sonoma. Chicagoland would be an eventful race for her. Early in the race on lap 6, Pippa Mann would spin out in turn 1. While avoiding the spinning number 16 machine, Anna Beatriz would also spin out. Later in the race, Anna Beatriz would be involved in a big crash with James Hinchcliffe and Mike Potigan in turn 4. But after the race, that would be her final ever Indy Lights race, because after that crash, Logan Gomez would replace Anna Beatriz for the Homestead race. I cannot find any information on why. Maybe she did get hurt again from that Chicagoland crash. Maybe Logan Gomez took over because of that reason. I don't want to speculate or assume, but if you all know what happened, comment below. Anyway, her sophomore season in Indy Lights wasn't as strong as her rookie season, but she would earn 1 win, 2 podiums, and an average finish of 9.4 and an 8th place finish in points. Despite not completing her sophomore season in Indy Lights and not getting a full-time run in IndyCar or competing in Indy Lights for another year in 2010, Anna Beatriz would find funding for the seat in the big leagues of the IZOD IndyCar series to kick off her IndyCar career in a home race at the inaugural Sao Paulo race. Racing for Dreyer Reinbold, she would be teammates with Mike Conway and Justin Wilson, who won last year's Watkins Glen race. Hoping she would learn a lot from her British teammates, Anna Beatriz would be one of the 7 Brazilian drivers who would race in the first Sao Paulo race. Anna's goal for her first race in her home was to complete all the laps, and she did that by finishing in 13th place. While being interviewed for PressDog.com, Anna Beatriz says that the race was a special race for her and a dream come true to race in front of her home country fans and even family and friends. After the inaugural Sao Paulo race, Anna Beatriz would not make another start until Dreyer Reinbold announced that she would run the 4th car in the number 25 for the 2010 Indianapolis 500, with Ipiranga returning as a sponsor for the big race. This would be Anna's first trip to Indy since her scary crash at the 2009 Freedom 100, which got her absent in the 2009 Indy Lights Milwaukee race due to her injuries suffered from that Indy crash. Thankfully, in her first Indy 500, thanks to smooth sailing, Anna Beatriz would start in 21st and would finish there 4 laps down. After Indy, she would once again have to wait while for another opportunity. She would get another opportunity at Chicagoland, but unfortunately it cost her one of her teammates the rest of the season. On the final lap of the 2010 Indianapolis 500, Mike Conway will be involved in a scary last lap crash involving Ryan Hunter-Reay. And if you want an in-depth video about that crash from the 2010 Indy 500, I do recommend y'all to watch how Ryan Hunter-Reay cheated death 3 times. Links in the description below if you want more information in depth of that accident. Mike Conway will be out for the rest of the season and would have various drivers race number 24 at Dreyer Reinbold car. One of the drivers would be Anna Beatriz. She would return to the series, replacing Mike Conway for the Chicagoland race. Chicagoland would be a big deal. The race would have 5 women racing against one another, one of them being Anna. Unfortunately for Anna Beatriz, she would not be the female to bring home the best female driver in terms of results. On lap 78, Anna Beatriz would attempt to avoid Vitor Mira, who was checking up at turn 4, brush the outside wall, DNFing with a 24th place finish. After a disappointing and short evening, Anna Beatriz would once again return to the number 24 Dreyer Reinbold car, continuing to replace Mike Conway, while Mike Conway would return to the racetrack for the first time since his Indy 500 crash back in May of 2010. Sadly for Beatriz, she would crash out of the Homestead race after 45 laps, finishing at 26. After 4 races, which is hard to gain as much experience when you are new to the sport, but made the best of it. She would average a 21.0 in her part-time season. Despite her mixed results in 2010, Anna Beatriz would race full-time, returning to Dreyer Reinbold Racing, reuniting with Justin Wilson, and Ipiranga would sponsor her the entire season of her rookie season in 2011. Anna Beatriz says that it was a dream come true that things have come together. Now, it was time to go racing for the 2011 season. Anna Beatriz would kick off her full-time rookie year at St. Petersburg, but it was a rough one physically. Despite finishing 14th, Anna Beatriz would suffer a broken wrist in the palm area from making contact with Graham Rahal in turn 5 on the 5th lap of the race, which also involved Danica Patrick. Her teammate Justin Wilson would also be injured from that race, but would continue to race. Beatriz would be out for their next race at Barber, and Simon Pagenaud would make his IndyCar return for the first time since 2007, replacing Anna Beatriz for the Barber race. Anna would return to Long Beach. Despite a near spin and crash during the pace laps, Anna Beatriz would finish in 19th on her return. Remember, 2011 is a learning curve season for Anna with more races, so growing pains will happen in terms of results and other things. Anna Beatriz would return home for the second Sao Paulo race, but sadly she would not finish the race due to gearbox problems, DNFing after 31 laps. For the next 5 races, all of them are ovals. Anna Beatriz would finish in 21st in the Indy 500, 2 22nd place finishes at the Texas Twin races, a 17th place finish at Milwaukee after hitting the outside wall in turn 4 on lap 66, and a crash at Iowa on lap 45, involving former teammate and new Andretti Autosport driver Mike Conway. Both made contact in turn 2, crashing on the outside wall hard, finishing in 23rd. Thankfully for Anna, she would have stretches of clean races between Toronto and the Motegi road course, with a best place finish of 11th at Toronto. Kentucky would be a troubling race for Anna though. On lap 50, after finishing her first pit stop under green, she would get out of pit road and would hit championship contender Will Power when Will was entering his pit box, implicating his championship hopes. Adding insult to injury for Anna, she would crash out hard in turn 4 on lap 166 after getting sideways. She would end up finishing 24th. Anna Beatriz would end her season 18th place at Las Vegas, Thankfully for Anna Beatriz, she was one of the 19 drivers who missed the accident. And just like that, Anna Beatriz's 2011 IndyCar rookie season was finally completed. Despite missing Barber, Anna Beatriz's average finish was at 18.1 with a 21st point place finish. Like I mentioned, this is a learning curve of a year for her. I know I sound like a broken record, but remember, she was a rookie who was racing for Dreyer and Reinbold. She did pretty decent and mainly clean despite the Iowa-Kentucky mishaps. But she does have a long way to go if she wants to stick around and continue to do well and learn in the sport. Unfortunately for Anna Beatriz, not only Dreyer Reinbold downside from a 2-car team to a 1-car team, but Anna Beatriz would not return to the team for the 2012 season. She would be replaced by Oriol Servia, who lost his ride after 2011 due to the shutdown of Newman Haas Racing. Luckily for Anna Beatriz, she would end up finding a ride for 2012. Anna did a Sebring test in James Hinchcliffe's car, and there were talks about her racing for Andretti Autosport. A month after the Sebring test, Andretti Autosport would announce that Anna Beatriz would race number 25 for Sao Paulo and the 2012 Indianapolis 500. Conquest Racing would also be part of it. They would be part of the team for the Indy 500, and Ipiranga would still stick around for a 2-race stint. In Sao Paulo, Anna Beatriz was having a clean race at home. Anna was one of the biggest movers of the race by moving up 11 spots. Unfortunately, her clean race at home in Sao Paulo would end up in calamity. On a restart with 8 laps to go, a big crash took place in turn 2, involving Anna. Thankfully for Anna Beatriz, she would continue to finish the race, finishing at 20th. Anna would race in the 2012 Indianapolis 500. Starting at 13th, Anna would once again have a clean race until she spun at turn 1 in lap 90. Thankfully, she would not suffer a lot of damage from her nose kissing the wall and her rear pods kissing the wall. She would continue to race and finish 23rd, 10 laps down. After the 2012 Indy 500, her IndyCar stint with Andretti Autosport has come to a close, leaving her to find yet another ride. It would take a while for her to find a ride, but in 2013, Anna Beatriz would race for Delcoin Racing, reuniting with former Dreyer Reinbold teammate Justin Wilson. Unfortunately for Anna, she would start her 2013 season with exhaust problems at St. Petersburg, DNFing with a 22nd place finish. Despite a rough start to the season, Anna Beatriz would accept an offer to race for Delcoin Racing from Barber to the 2013 Indianapolis 500. For the next 4 races, Anna Beatriz would finish in 24th at Barber due to engine problems, a 14th place finish at Long Beach, which would be her best finish of the 2013 season, a 25th in Sao Paulo, last place, due to gearbox problems, and a 15th place at the Indianapolis 500. After the Indy 500, she would have to wait until Milwaukee to make a return to the Delcoin Racing machinery, but she would slide up in turn 4 and spin out, finishing 19th. In Iowa, she would finish 6th in the first heat race, and for the main event, Anna Beatriz would suffer some wheel bearing problems, finishing in 22nd. The 2013 Iowa race would be her final ever IndyCar race in her career after 29 races. And just like that, her IndyCar career was over. She had an average finish of 19.2 after racing IndyCar for 4 seasons. To be honest, she did the best she could do to show that she can do her best on track, but to deal with teams like Dreyer Reinbold and of course deal with other problems, of course she was not going to be a race-winning contender, just like her Indy Lights days. It just wasn't meant to be. But on the bright side, not only she was not a terrible driver or a bust, another bright side is that she did get to race in all of her home races at Sao Paulo. So there's a positive right there. After IndyCar, Anna Beatriz would return home to Brazil to race in the Stock Car Brazil Series from 2014 to 2018. In 2019, Anna Beatriz, which would name herself as Bia Figueiredo, oh god, I butchered that name wrong, I'm sorry, would return to the United States to do some racing. But this time, it was not for IndyCar, it was an IMSA. Anna Beatriz would race in an all-star female team for Heinricher Racing with Meyershank Racing, racing in number 57 Acura NSX GT3 with Caterpillar as a sponsor, which also featured Catherine Legg, Simona Di Silvestro, and Christina Nielsen. For the first 2 races of her IMSA career, Anna Beatriz and her team would finish 32nd overall and a 12th in GTD class at the 2019 Rolex 24, 26th overall and 8th in GTD class at the 2019 12 Hours of Sebring. Anna Beatriz would return to the team in the 6 Hours of the Glen, finishing 21st overall and 4th in GTD class. Anna Beatriz would replace Christina Nielsen for the Canadian Tire race, and the 57 team would finish 25th overall and 6th in GTD class, 31st overall and 13th in GTD class at Road America, and the 25th overall and 7th place finish in GTD class in the 2019 Petit Le Mans race at Road Atlanta. Despite running half the season and running all the endurance races, Anna Beatriz's number 57 team did well for the first year as an all-women team. After 2019, Ana Beatriz would return home in Brazil to run some Formula 1600 races in 2020. But on June 26, 2020, Ana Beatriz would be arrested in Brazil for allegedly being part of an embezzlement and money laundering. Embezzlement means theft or misappropriation of funds placed in the trust or belongings to an employer. Before I continue, I want to clarify that I am a motorsports content creator. I am not a financial or a crime content creator, and I do want to apologize in advance if I got something wrong or if I missed something. Please, if y'all want to help out, feel free to correct me in the comments below, add some information that I missed or got wrong. With that being said, let's continue. Her husband Fabio Souza and father-in-law Juraci Batista were also charged alongside for 1.64 million US dollars, 9 million reais. So what happened was that there were complaints filed in Rio de Janeiro indicating that she was part of a scheme to secure money from the state to operate various hospitals. There were a lot of complaints and issues due to Lagos Rio Health Institute not signing the ability to sign management contracts with the state, but forges technical training thanks to obtaining failure technical certificates, which includes the lack of certification to operate medical facilities. Ana's husband and her father-in-law stole $118 million in a span of 8 years from the state, according to reports. So where does the involvement of Ana Beatriz come in? Allegedly, she was a recipient of more than $250,000 through a business she is listed as an owner, which was named Beatriz, but with a 3. The money was used for the wedding between Ana and Fabio and allegedly funding her stock car Brazil career, which was $1.5 million. Ana made a statement on National News Global Network saying that she was not aware of the details of the case and insisted that she was not involved with the family business. Although her name wasn't the case, the DA says that she was not part of the investigation since the company was controlled by her husband. At the time of her arrest, she was suspended from racing the Stock Car Brazil series and she was 8 months pregnant at the time, expecting her first child to be born in July 2020. Thankfully, Ana Beatriz was cleared from any involvement from the embezzlement and money laundering situation, finally giving birth to a baby boy. Ana Beatriz would return to the United States of America to race in IMSA in 2021 for the 12 Hours of Sebring, racing in a number 8 Team Hardpoint Earl Bamber Motorsports Porsche GT3 911 alongside Kato Legg and Christina Nielsen, a reunion, finishing 22nd overall and 5th place in class. And just like that, her racing career in IMSA and America overall were over with. After that, she worked as a commentator and raced in the TCR South American Series in 2022 and the COPA Trucks Series in 2023 and 2024. And finally, she became president of the Brazilian Women's Motorsports Commissions and is currently involved in promoting women's racing and administrations, running and racing her own kart team. As long as Ana Beatriz continues to stay out of trouble and not be part of any problems, everything will turn out to be great in her role in racing and as a mother moving forward. So that'll conclude this episode of Racing Stories. And before I end this episode, I'm going to be completely honest why I made this episode. So it was midsummer or the end of summer of 2020. I was watching every Indy Lights race ever on YouTube since July 2020 while the series was canceled due to COVID, so I wanted to catch up with the series. And when I saw Ana winning at the 2008 Nashville race, I was curious and looked up how she was doing and what she's up to, and I was shocked to find out that she was arrested for her involvement in money laundering. And I remember messaging my friends on Skype about it. One of them said that they knew, and I had no idea this whole time about it. I wish I was told about it, but whatever. But either way, I thought her story was interesting because I only remember her racing in IndyCar from 2012 to 2013. Ana was a driver who was talented enough to race in the big leagues after her success at Indy Lights. Despite dealing with some injuries, I feel like Ana Beatriz had never had any truly good shots of racing full-time in any team. I would not say she's a bust, but she did okay in IndyCar. It could have been worse, but hey, that's just me. She still did IndyCar. Things went decent. It could have been a lot better. It is what it is. So that's going to do it for another episode of Racing Stories. I just want to say thank y'all so much for watching this episode of Racing Stories. This is Ian the Motorsports Man, signing off. Goodbye, everybody.